behind my driver's license. 95.
There's the L2C Media Network, and this is the L2C Sports Final, brought to you by the L2C Network. And now, with the day in sports, and oh, what a day! Here's our man, Steve the Baxman Baxley. Hey, hairless one. Hey, you realize the barbers are back? Well, it's about damn time. Good evening, everybody. You want to move that just a little bit more? Thank you. Excuse me, I got a little chair problem here. Oh, this is going to be a fun day, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. Excuse me, folks. Didn't mean to flash you there. Nothing to see here. Nothing really to see here. Anyway, put you down. Everything is down and out in Beverly Hills. Yes. There we go. All right. Hi. Welcome. This is the L2C Sports Final. Steve the Baxman Baxley here, and I count. Yes, I do. Another one of the fun little beauties of free t-shirts. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, let's get on with it here so we can entertain you, the viewing public. And yes, you're still looking at space that will be, by possibly next month, closed space. Because I do plan to make this little space here enclosed, sort of have my own little recording studio. Hey, do-it-yourself studio. One guy can use a closet. Then I'm going to extend my chifforobe. If you don't know what a chifforobe is, it's a lot like a closet, except it'll hold, well, clothes and that. It's sort of a fancy-dancy closet. That's what it is. But I don't know if I'm going to do that. But I am going to make a little studio out here, enclosed, with a door and some egg crates on the walls. So no background noise will interfere with any projects I do. And I'll be doing a lot of projects too. I'll still have the lights and everything. And I don't think I'll need a ceiling because I'll have this ceiling up here. You want to show the up here? There you go. There's the ceiling that I'm going to have. So it's just going to be like 4 cheesy little walls, little egg crate, and a door. So it's a work in progress, and it's going to start in about 2 weeks. As I get some measurements and prepare for the nice little, closure here on this little stateret. Anyway, enough of that. We'll give you everything else you need to know. But right now, you just want me to do some sports. Well, I don't blame you. I'm going to do some sports for you. And it looks like men's baseball may be back. How? Well, I'm going to tell you how it may be back. And, well, Lord giveth, Lord makes us pay for it. Anyway, glad you're with us, folks. Hope you don't mind. This is what I mean by background noise. So, there you go. See, that's so. There you go. So, Why the 2020 Major League Baseball season will still be played despite the labor fight, and when can we see a schedule, and how many games? As you know, last night, Major League Baseball and the Players Association failed miserably in their efforts to iron out an agreed upon structure for the 2020 season to survive, which frankly is still on hold because of the coronavirus pandemic, and the two sides are stubborn as mules. On Saturday, the players rejected the owner's latest and probably final proposal. You might as well just remove the word probably and say definitely. Now, this doesn't mean that the 2020 season is dead before it lived, however. Here's how the Players Association concluded with a statement. Quote, "It's time to get back to work. Tell us when and where." Indeed, Baseball Commish Rob Manfred has limited power to institute a regular season format for 2020, and that indeed appears to be the path forward. Here's what you need to know all about that. Now, almost certainly there will be a 2020 season. The ideal outcome was a negotiated settlement between the baseball commissioner, owners, etc., and the players. That won't happen in large measure because the owner's offer barely changed from the one to the next in term of total compensation. However, Commissioner Manfred has the power established by fiat a regular season. And, well, he previously guaranteed that there would be a season. Just got to know the numbers. The season instituted by Manfred could entail as few as 48 games or maybe 50. However, this season will likely not entail the expanded postseason that the owners want. It's a matter for collective bargaining, and the players will almost certainly not agree to it since the negotiated settlement on the regular season structure was a precondition for that to happen. So you'll see the usual 10-team playoff field this October as opposed to 14 or even 16-team format that baseball wanted. That figures to happen at some point, but it won't happen in 2020 or 2021. Now, in late March, baseball and the players reached an accord for the 2020 season. Most notably, players agreed to prorate their salaries based on the number of regular season games played. That is, if the regular season spanned just 80 games, then players would receive just 80 games worth of their 2020 salaries and not the full salaries reflective of a 162-game regular season. Per that same agreement, Manfred also has the power. He got the power to force a shorter season, again, likely in the neighborhood of 48 to 50 some games. So long as players receive their full prorated salaries, that's not optimal for either side. Players want a longer regular season, and owners have insisted that players agree to additional salary cuts beyond the prorated amounts, even though salary was already agreed to. Because no negotiated settlement has happened, though, this is where we are. Now, in the most recent and probably final, you might as well say final proposal period, baseball suggested a July 14th opening day for a 72-game regular season, assuming the players need at least 2 weeks to ramp back up after having spring training interrupted and allowing some additional time for health and safety protocols and other logistical issues to be finalized. That may be ambitious timetable. So if the commish does as expected and implements that shorter season, then look for a schedule opening day to fall between the middle of July and August 1st. Baseball will want to get things going as soon as possible in hopes that a full postseason can be played before COVID-19 possibly surges in the fall. But a start of the season prior to that 2-week window is no longer possible. Now, will the owners sign off on this? It's not a given, but are you kidding me? They'll sign it. Manfred works for the 30 club owners, and despite the occasional false veneer of impartiality, is tasked with representing their interest, and they must approve his decisions to implement a regular season structure. Given how they've handled negotiations, it would be unwise to assume that owners are above a self-defeating fit of pique. Speaking of which, it would probably be difficult to find 8 owners willing to kill the season, as the writer John Heyman notes, and this is what he tweeted. There are a couple of owners who are fine with calling off the season. That may be the latest from players today. Will spur one or two more to feel that way, but it would take 8 owners to scuttle the season, and most important, Commissioner Manfred is on record saying, there will be a season, there will be baseball. Well, it's probably difficult to find 8 owners, but you never know. It's within the range of possible outcomes until Manfred announces he's forcing the season, and at least 75% of owners have agreed to allow him to do so. Don't assume baseball in 2020 is a given. Now, how is this all going to affect the collective bargaining agreement negotiations? Well, as we all know, the current CBA expires after the 2021 season, and it was already going to be a challenging negotiation for a number of reasons, mostly financial in nature. Throw in the current hostilities, and it's entirely possible the long run of labor peace is surely in peril. In matters related, it's likely the 2020 season will be played while dueling grievances make their way through the designated chaise. Now, at this point, both sides may be spoiling for a fight, and conveniently enough, they've got one scheduled. Now, what about the virus? COVID-19 pandemic, it may play the final and determinative role in all this. Recent case surges in California, Arizona, Texas, and Florida may complicate baseball's plans to have teams play in their home ballparks and compete within regional schedules. As vital of a consideration as that is, its place on the to-do list is after deciding we're having a season. Well, guess what? The fans, I may speak for myself, but I think some of the fans agree. Cancel the season for the safety and the health of players, fans, and others connected to the game, and for the history of this sport. I think maybe it's no choice. Suspend, cancel the season, and declare 2020 baseball dead. You've already declared minor league baseball dead, so you might as well just go for the trifecta. And I'll tell you this, you go for that trifecta, God have pity on your souls. Indeed. So there you go. We'll keep you updated on all this fun as well. Well, as if the USC Trojans haven't had any more problems. Oh, wow. One of USC's most anticipated upcoming playmakers will reportedly be delayed from making an impact for the Trojans on the field after suffering a torn ACL for the second time in the last 3 years. Wide receiver Kyle Ford, the number 38 overall player in the class of 2019 and the top-rated player in USC's recruiting class that year, is expected to be out for the cliched foreseeable future after suffering the injury, according to Kelly Ure of 24/7 Spots. Now, Ford tore his ACL in the opposite knee of his new tearback during his senior season of high school, caused him to miss the start of the 2019 campaign for the Trojans. He appeared in just 4 games after making his debut in late October, recording 1 catch for 20 yards and a touchdown, was allowed to take a red shirt for the rest of the year. Now, while the wideout room is loaded at USC with a handful of gifted players battling for time, as we know, time is on no one's side. Ford had an opportunity to see his playing time improve following the graduation of Michael Pittman. Ford received first-team reps for the lone spring practice that USC got in before college football was shut down due to the coronavirus pandemic. That word from 24/7 Sports. Now, he drew comparisons to former USC standout Juju Smith-Schuster for his pro-ready frame and ball-catching abilities coming out of high school. Trojans are still expected to have one of the top offenses in the Pac-12 with Keaton Slovis at quarterback and offensive coordinator Graham Harrell in his second year leading the unit. While Ford's absence for 2020 is a loss, the group still has high-quality options for Slovis with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyler Vaughns, and Drake London, among others. Good luck, and our prayers are with you. Okay, we're at 35 minutes past. Yes, indeed, the hour of power. And after NASCAR prohibited the Confederate flag from ever showing its sights again at every racetrack in the free world, Alvin Kamara attended a race. Wrong story, guys. Wrong story. Wrong story, fellas. Wrong story. Can we leap up a bit or do something leapable? Thank you. You don't have the you want to do the helmet story? Well, let's first off, let's get to the story I was talking about. Okay. The train has jumped the track. The passengers are wondering what's next. Okay, let's get this right. No, that's not what we want, but I'll do it anyway. We'll take the NASCAR story in a little bit. Right now, at 25 years old, former Jet quarterback Christian Hackenberg still believes that the dream of becoming a professional athlete remains an achievable one for his life. But it appears that he's shifting the goalpost on that dream from one sport to another. In an interview with a local Philadelphia news station, Hackenberg says he's been working on becoming a baseball pitcher. Simply put, he just wants to compete. Plays NFL, but also his time in professional football as a whole. After the Jets drafted him in the second round, he did not play a single down of regular season football. Closest he came was when he served as a backup to Bryce Petty after injuries made their way through New York's quarterback depth chart. Hackenberg finally got his chance to start in a professional football game, but it came in the Alliance of American Football, where he was benched for poor play through a couple of games. Needless to say, a run into a sport where he had no negative history could certainly be a boost for his confidence. It's far from certain that this will come to fruition, but something in Hackenberg's favor is a video of him throwing over 90 miles per hour. Wow. Nothing else, maybe he'll get a shot to play in the Mets minor league system so that he can trade stories with Tim Tebow about being a backup in New York. Oy. Okay, are we finally going to get that story up on my board, fellas, in the control room? Fellows, hi. You want? Yes, let's get that story up so I can read it, and we can cheer or boo, or even hullabaloo. Finally. We got it back. NASCAR recently announced that it will no longer allow the Confederate flag to be displayed at future events. The move comes as protests continue across the country over the death of George Floyd. Floyd's death at the hands of a Minneapolis police officer has shaken the country to its core and garnered support for demands to remove Confederate symbols throughout the United States. For New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara, NASCAR's Confederate flag ban has made him a new supporter of the sport. After the announcement, Kamara shared his support for NASCAR's decision asking when he could attend a race and even live tweeting Wednesday's NASCAR race in Martinsville in Virginia. All right, let's go this way. NASCAR then extended the three-time Pro Bowler invitation to Sunday's races, and Kamara arrived decked out in Bubba Wallace merchandise. Wallace, the only black driver in the NASCAR Cup Series, had previously called for the league to ban the Confederate flag at events. Wallace also donned a shirt with the words, "I Can't Breathe" and "Black Lives Matter" prior to 2 recent races, and his car had the hashtag Black Lives Matter with the words compassion, love, understanding. 3 things we all need now: compassion, love, and understanding. So, bravis. Personally, for me, I'm a sports fan. The Confederate flag needs to be a part of history. But the way people are talking about it, what's General Lee, the car from Dukes of Hazzard, without that symbol? But hey, whatever floats your boat. People are people. I got further comments, but I will keep those to myself. I want to keep this channel open and proud. So to all, I say live and let live. There, I've said it. Live and let live. Okay, college football, Ohio State. Oh boy, they're interesting. And again, they're interesting more. Ohio State football began voluntary workouts earlier this week, but before any Buckeyes started those team-sanctioned activities, they had to sign an acknowledgement of risk waiver due to COVID-19. Columbus Dispatch obtained the waiver and reported Sunday that players were asked to sign a Buckeye pledge. That pledge commits players to following the school's health guidelines, including participation in contact tracing efforts and reporting of exposure, and acknowledges the risk of contracting COVID-19 even while following those protocols. At Ohio State, those protocols include submitting to coronavirus testing, reporting exposure to COVID-19, disclosing symptoms of the virus, including a fever of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, and remaining home if they feel using these kind of waivers as they reopen operations following a very lengthy shutdown to the coronavirus pandemic. But the Dispatch reporting shows what one of the sport's top programs has in place for its players to allow for college football to get going in time for the scheduled start of this season. At Ohio State, all players were tested upon returning to the facility last week, and any player who tested positive began a 14-day isolation and monitoring protocol. The school has not released any specifics from that round of testing, citing privacy concerns. Now, these kind of waivers could become standard in college football to the extent that even fans, if allowed in the stadiums at all, are asked to commit to similar acknowledgments of risk prior to their entry for a home game. For now, those decisions are too far in the future to know, but the players returning to team activities, even voluntary ones, are going to be asked to comply with a full scale of university risk management. Oobla-dee, oobla-da, life gone. And on, and on, and on, and on, and on. 23 minutes. We're 23 minutes into this broadcast. We got NASCAR news. And yes, we will round up and give you all the details. Was Backlash worth it? And of course, scores and shout outs and a whole lot more. We say blessed on a Sunday and hello to an early Monday. So right now, by the way, Rakita Law, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad everybody asked. Let's tell you that right about 15 minutes from now, because we started a bit late. We remind you that on the Rakita Law channel on YouTube, either it's right now or coming up, it's another fun-filled lectern of joy by Lectern of Joy. Join Nick Rakita and company tonight on Twitch TV /Rakita Law. And why? Why not? No. Yeah. Yeah, join Nick, Rakita, and company tonight as they will be doing a watch party of episodes 7 through 12 of Vinland Saga. Wow. That's going to be interesting indeed. That's on Rakita Law channel on YouTube. Well, no, correction. That's on the Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Rakita Law. So go to that website, twitch.tv/Rakita Law, REKIETALAW, for the watch party of episodes 7 to 12 of Vinland Saga. So go there. That's at midnight Central, 1 a.m. Eastern Time, well before we sign off. So, bam.
What's today's date?
Thank you, Mom, for entrusting the world.
Well, I just need today's date.
Today's date for temporary usage is the Sunday, the 14th of June. In about 14 minutes, it'll be Monday, the 15th of June. And that means we get a haircut.
I can't keep that paper.
Okay, let's keep going on this broadcast and take you to, well, I've already done that part. You want to do the WWE stuff? Okay, let's do that. Give you the results. Oi, the results. That's right. Of, well, I'm going to say it. It wasn't bad. It was not bad at all. It was pretty well a 6. 6 bell rings. Let's do it. There you go. All right, let's get you the results. The United States Championship, Apollo Crews versus Andrade on the kickoff show. Kevin Owens made his way to ringside to work commentary while Angel Garza and Zelina Vega were out with Andrade. Crews and Andrade have built some solid chemistry in recent months and played off their history with some nice counters. They hit some big moves for near falls, but Crews hit the press slam into a standing moonsault and a standing shooting star press. Garza climbed onto the ring apron, and Owens left the commentary table to hit Garza with a stunner. Crews hit Andrade with a sit-down spinning powerbomb for the pinfall. He retained. Apollo Crews defeats Andrade via pinfall. Aww. Women's Tag Team Championship, the champions Bayley and Sasha Banks took on the Iconics and Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. And, well, wouldn't you know it, Bayley and Sasha retained their titles, defeating Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss via pinfall, and the Iconics to retain their title. Wow. It was a nice, fast-paced opening match. Jeff Hardy took on Sheamus. He came out fast, throwing Hardy to the mat and immediately grinding his forearm into Hardy's face, rubbing off Hardy's face paint in the process. Hardy made his comeback, but it was short-lived. A solid mess. No, it was a good match. And started out well. They told the solid story of Hardy having the guts to fight back again and again before a high-risk move allowed Sheamus to power his way to the victory. That was okay. That was not bad. Raw Women's Champion ended in a double countout, Asuka versus Nia Jax. And for the first time ever since her return, Asuka was not injured. That's right. Nia Jax, as you know, injured some of the female wrestlers. This time with Asuka, event ended in a double countout. Asuka is becoming one of the best wrestlers on the roster, and Jax just has not improved since her surgery. So congratulations, Asuka. You deserve the applause. Applause. Okay, the Universal Championship. Braun Strowman, the champion, took on The Miz and Jonathan Morrison. And I think they're teasing a split between The Miz and John Morrison. Anyway, there wasn't much drama and definitely it was a little dull. Braun Strowman defeated Miz and John via pinfall. There you go. Next match was WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre, the champion, took on Bobby Lashley. And, well, I really don't want to describe this because, frankly, it was McIntyre won, defeating Bobby Lashley via pinfall with a little help from Bobby's little woman, Lana. They're turning her into real, well, you know what. I mean, she's pretty good, but I think she needs to be with her hubby, Rusev. That's right. Street Profits and the Viking Raiders brawl across the Performance Center. This one was not exactly worth mentioning. Main event, but hey, it was filler for the main event. The so-called greatest wrestling match ever. Edge taking on Randy Orton. And yeah, this was nice. You had enhanced camera angles and amplified audio, including the introduction from the late great Howard Finkel and Charles Robinson in old school blue shirt and bow tie referee gear. And believe it or not, this really was worth the hype. In fact, the winner of the match was Randy Orton. This was definitely worth the applause and saved it from once again garnering a 5. So to the WWE booker, whoever he is, kudos on a good job. Not a great job, mind you, just a good job. That's right. I saith a good job. Okay, we're at 32 minutes right now, and we're going to go to 45 minutes. So let's go send here. And let's go to tonight's rather wild night in Miami where the Thunder rolled in. Came out and tried to do something to the whole shebang, but it could not be done. Why, you may ask? Well, because they held it up as long as they could, and they raced under the lights. And Hamlin did it. He got his 40th career victory. He swept through South Beach. Bravis, bravis, bravis. Okay, let's get you to the unofficial Cup race results. And friends, get ready because we're going through them. I mean, Hamlin just whipped it out. Whipped it out good. Race statistics will show that Denny Hamlin led a dominant 138 of the 267 laps in last night's Dixie Vodka 400, but the truth is, he had to earn every fraction of a second that he paced the field. It was a thrilling chase for a checkered flag, lap after lap after lap. Hamlin ultimately took the lead for good, pacing Chase Elliott with 29 laps remaining after a series of green flag pit stops, swapped the two cars' positions in front of the field. Elliott had to pit a lap earlier than Hamlin and held a 1.5 second lead in the dozen or so laps after green flag stops. But Hamlin was able to catch up with Elliott as they tried to get around the race's earlier leader, Joey Logano, who was running 2 laps down at the time. With his dramatic 0.895-second victory over Hendricks Motorsports' Elliott and Team Penske's Ryan Blaney, Hamlin became the NASCAR Cup Series' first 3-time race winner of the season. It was Hamlin's 40th NASCAR Cup Series career win and 3rd career victory at Homestead Miami Speedway, tying him with Hall of Famers Tony Stewart and Greg Biffle for most wins all-time on the 1.5-mile oval. Hamlin told Fox Sports after climbing out of his race-winning number 11 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, "Our car was just really good. This is the car kind of based off of what we had here in the fall last year going for the 2019 championship. We had a strong car all day, obviously, with the laps led and able to get around Chase there at the end. This whole FedEx team has just done a phenomenal job. And this Camry, this one's real special. I didn't know. It seemed like the end of these races seemed to be Chase's best suit, but I knew that if I was just patient and ran the pace, and I wanted that pace I was comfortable with, we were going to be hard to beat in the long run." Rookie Tyler Reddick, who won the 2018-2019 NASCAR Xfinity Series races at Homestead, finished 4th place. Eric Amarola, Florida native, was the season best 5th. Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, rookie Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Brad Keselowski rounded out the top 10. The last rookie to earn top 10 finish at Homestead was David Reagan 13 years ago. On Sunday night, there were 2 rookies in the top 10, and it was a career best NASCAR Cup Series finish for both Reddick and Bell. Hamlin's Toyota was so strong it won the first and second stages. Only the 5th time a driver has swept the opening 2 stages this season, and he is the first driver in 2020 to sweep both stages and the win for the race. From 2002-2019, this Homestead stop on the schedule was the championship finale, and before the COVID-19 break in racing this year, it was originally scheduled for March. Lightning in the area, as is common in South Florida in June, however, parked cars for nearly 3 hours under red flag conditions on Sunday. The break ended up being a game-changer for Team Penske driver Logano, who jumped out to the early lead, showing the way in the afternoon between the 2 red flag periods for Lightning, but was involved in a pit road collision that changed his race fate and left him playing catch-up. Kevin Harvick was also involved in the pit mishap. With Logano finished 26, he still remains top the NASCAR Cup Series championship standings. However, it's by 8 points over Elliott as the series moves to Talladega for the Geico 500 next Sunday, June 21st. You can see that. Where? Where can they see that, kids? Somebody please allow us to know. Where can they see Talladega? Well, I'm glad I asked, because Talladega, you can catch the race on. Come on. Who's a good computer? Yeah, you can catch the next race, which is Talladega. It's 188 laps, 500 miles. And you can catch the race on the Big Rock Daddy, Fox, and the Motor Racing Network. That's at 3 o'clock, June the 21st, the Geico 500. All right, folks, it's 11:50. That's right. It's 11:50. We're 39 minutes into this broadcast. Hey, we're rocking it pretty good, aren't we? Okay, let's get all of you folks into the psycho that we like to do, and that's the scoreboard. That's right. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Get you some scoreboard. And I think we've got time to go through the whole rigmarole, including some esports for you. That'll be fun, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. So, let's get started. By the way, it is midnight Eastern time. So you know what that means. That's right. We got to do this. And we love it. Okay, let's get you over to the clover and do it right. And I mean do it right. Let's do it right indeed. Okay. We kick it off, of course, with soccer. And the Bundesliga, Augsburg and Mainz. Augsburg defeated Mainz 1-0. Bayer Leverkusen and Schalke tied at 1. In Spain, La Liga action. Alf Bilbao and ATL. And Atlantic, or somewhere, Madrid, ended up in a 1-1 tie. Real Madrid over Eibar 3-1. And Real Sociedad and Osasuna tied at 1. In Austria, the Typico Bundesliga Championship Group. Sturm Graz over Hartberg 2-1. Rapid Vienna. Hey, you want to get back up there? Over Wolfsberger 2-1. And Salzburg over Lask 3-1. In Belarus, the Vysshaya Liga. Belshina defeated Energetic 1-0. Vitebsk defeated Rook Brest 1-0. And Bate, B-A-T-E, tied with Shakhtar Soligorsk 2-2. In Costa Rica, it was Saprissa 4, Cartagena 0. Alajuelense 2, Hirdano 0. Czech Republic 1 Liga. Bohemians defeated Jablonek 3-0. Karvina and Mlada Boleslav tied at 2. Liberec and Ostrava tied at 0. Opava defeated Keks Bujovic 2-0. Plzeň over Sigma Olomouc 1-0. Slava Prague over Ziln 1-0. Sparta Prague over Slovako 2-0. And Teplice was white as snow. Mary had a little lamb. Teplice was white as snow. Okay, that's it. 4-0 over Pre-Bomb, and the joke bombed. Denmark Superliga regulation group. Sonderisk defeated Lyngby 1-0. In the championship group, it was Midtjylland over Aalborg 2-0. Copenhagen and Nordstrand tied at 1. Brøndby and Aarhus tied at 0. In Estonia, it was Kalju blanking Tallinna Kalev 4-0. Paide over Narva 2-1. In Bundesliga 2 in Germany, Darmstadt over Hanover 3-2. Karlsruhe over Stuttgart, not Harry, 2-1. St. Pauli over 2-1. Hungary OTP Bank Liga, Kapsavar over DVTK 3-0. And MOL Ferivar and Ujapest tied at 2. Poland. You got Arka Gdynia and Wisla tied at 0. Cracovia and Wilsa Plock tied at 1. Gornik and Legia 2-0. Plast Gilwick over Jagiellonia 2-0. Lech Poznan over Corona Kielce 3-0. Pogan Schlecken and Lechia Gdansk tied at 1. Rakow over Zagłębie 2-1. And Slack Rokau over LKS Loads 4-0. South Korea K-League 1. Daegu defeated Seoul 6-0. And Gwangju defeated Busan 3-1. In K-League 2 action, it was Jinom over Busan 1-0. And Anyang and Asan tied at 1. World Cup friendly action was Zeverdarza losing to Batajanica 2-1. Strawman over Hamkam 2-1. Rosengard over Vaxjo United 3-0. Besnik over Bukovice 5-0. Herdak Kralov over Nachoid 7-2. In basketball, in the German BBL final stage, it was Ulm over Göttingen 89-66, and Oldenburg over Bayern 89-81. Nicaragua, Torneo Carlos Ulloa, playoffs after OT. It was Matagalpa over San Isidro 75-69. In Turkmenistan, the NBLT, this game just finished. Dragon Oil over Balkan 86-71. In baseball, the Japanese NPB preseason, it was Cebu Lions over the Chibalati Marines 4-3, 4-10-1 Lions, 3-3-1 Marines. The Rakuten Golden Eagles over the Yakut Swallows 9-2, 9-13-0 Eagles, 2-4-1 Swallows. Trinichi Dragons and the Yokohama Bay Stars ended in a 2-2 tie, 2-6-0 for the Dragons, 2-4-0 Bay Stars. Fukuoka Silverhawks defeated the Hiroshima Carp 9-3, 9-8-1 Hawks, 3-5-3 Carp. Oric Buffaloes and the Hanshin Tigers tied at 3-9-0 Buffaloes, 3-6-1 Tigers. And the Nippon Ham Fighters over the Yomiuri Giants 4-2, 4-7-0 Ham Fighters, 2-6-2 Giants. In the Czech Republic, the Extra Liga, Eagles Prague whopped Trebek 10-4, 10-10-3 Prague, 4-8-3 Trebek. What a loser. Hiroshi Brunnu over Technica Brunnu, 15-13, 15-11-2 Brunnu, 13-15-5 Brunnu Technica. In South Korea, the Korean Baseball Organization, KBO, Hanwha Eagles over Doosan Bears, 7-6, 7-10-1 Eagles, 6-11-1 Bears. Hanwha Eagles over the Doosan Bears, 3-2, 3-7-1 Eagles, 2-9-0 Bears. LG Twins over the Lottie Giants, 10-6, 10-14-2 Twins, 6-16-1 Giants. NC Dinos over the Kiwoom Heroes, 9-5, 9-13-0 Dinos, 5-8-1 Heroes. Samsung Lions whopped the KT Wiz Swan, 12-0, 12-16-0 Lions, 0-11-0 Swan. And SK Wyverns over Kia Tigers 4-3, 4-3-0 Wyverns, 3-7-0 Tigers. In the Taiwan CPBL first stage action, Rakuten Monkeys over the China Trust Brothers 4-1, 4-7-0 Monkeys, 1-7-3 Brothers. Fubon Guardians over the Uni Lions 6-2, 6-13-0 for the Guardians, 2-7-3 for the Lions. And in the CPBL minor league, it was Rakuten Monkeys, the sequel, over the Weishuan Dragons, 11-7, 11-14-1 Monkeys, the sequel, 7-14-5 the Dragons. And do we have some esports? Yes, we do. We'll just give you a little bit of it. Eyes are watering, but here we go. We'll give you as much as we can with the time that we have, folks, and that time we are adding, we're going to add some to it. We're at the 49th minute of this broadcast. Wow. Okay, let's quickly give you some action. Counter-Strike DreamHack Spring Europe Grand Final, big over G2 Esports 3-2. Counter-Strike DreamHack Spring North America Grand Final, Furia over Liquid 3-0. League of Legends Championship Series North America, Cloud9 over 100 Thieves, 1-0. Team Solomid over Dignitas, 1-0. Team Liquid over Golden Guardians, 1-0. And Counter Logic Gaming over the Immortals, 1-0. League of Legends Circuito Brasilio de League of Legends in Brazil, Santos Esports over Ints Esports, 1-0. Pain Gaming over Vivo Keyed, 1-0. Flamingo over Prodigy, 1-0. Cambum Esport over Faraya Uppercut 1-0. In League of Legends European Championships, obviously, they're held in Europe. We'll go bottom up this time. Fnatic over Excel Esports 1-0. Vitality over G2 Esports 1-0. Misfits over Origin 1-0. Rogue over Straka 4 1-0. And Mad Lions over SK Gaming 1-0. League of Legends Pro League China, Invictus Gaming over Sunning 2-0. Top Esport over JD Gaming 2-0. And the Overwatch League in the USA, Philadelphia defeated Houston 3-0. Toronto defeated Vancouver 3-0. And Los Angeles defeated Washington 3-0. And folks, like it or not, that's the scoreboard. Yes, that is the scoreboard. Now, complete with this show because it's time for our final little segment. And what is that little segment, kids? That's right. It's time for the hi and hello out there in video land. Let's start first with Instagram. And we say hi to Miller the Muse, Portia Coleman. Excuse me as I try desperately to maintain. We say also a big hello to Claudia Treos, Amy Hayes. Of course, we also say hi to Stacy Hayes, Frida Hayes, Morris Hayes, to Audrey Dahlgren, Alex Sims, Nick Mantis, Nish Michelle. Of course, we also say hi to Katrina Howard, BP show. How you doing? BPO show. How you doing? We also have to say hello to our Facebook friends, our friends on Facebook, because why not? There, and then we'll get you the golf as our final story, our final hook shot for you. So here we go. We say hello to Marianne Davis, Roman Ronan, Michael Pickrell, Tony Pickrell, Ricky Pickrell, Yvonne Pickrell. How y'all doing? Samantha Phillips, Samantha O'Neill, Casey Ann, and the lovely Miss Monica Cram. Hi. Angela Peterson, Christina Peterson, Yuki Tanaka, Anne-Marie Mann, Jade the Brain Man, Matthew Nichols, Jerry Nichols, Nancy Nichols. I do. Brenda Gaminsky, my mom, Sharon Baxley, my cat Uno, who is resting on her perch. Let's see what else we got. My Uncle Mike, Uncle Harold is deceased. Alan Oberoff, how you doing? When I get ready for my room, you bet I will be shaping that up. So it's either going to be here in the living room or in my room or even in the spare room, but it's got to happen. Got to get a little studio in there. You can't do a show and have background noise, because if you do that, you lose an audience and possible advertisers. And I wasn't done yet, but thank you for reminding. We say hi to Alabama Cole, to Amanda Behrens, Bobby Strauss, Brian McFeeters, Chris Lewis, Chris French. We say greetings to my Aunt Pat in Florida. We say how do you do to George Templeton, Marley Wiley, Jeff Rollo, Blind Lemon, Nellie K9, Mrs. Nellie K9, Insapod, and all my friends in Australia who love AFL Australian football, and of course my Australian football friends and those who I know from daysofthebasement.com.au. Harold Robbins, how you doing? Helena Kirby, Cassie Little. And by the way, congratulations to Vanessa and her husband for the birth of a new baby. A new life is held in the hands. May it be healthy and good, and may it be brilliant as both of you. Okay, we also say hi to Amari Wood. Yes. Jennifer Finley, Kimberly Butler, Mike Polta Jr., James Murphy, J.R. Draper, Hilda Clark Bowen. We got Mike Sparks, referee Russ Kimball, Regina Lewis, January J. Keaton, and Rico Flores, Rick Ciampa. How you doing? We also say hello to everyone on of course, Twitter, Instagram, and more on Facebook. Also say a gracious hello to my cousin Betty, who has now moved to her new home, and it is like a castle, boys and girls. Kaidi Tong, how are you doing? Over there looking great as always. And Itan G, the Jewish rapper. Party on, my friend, party on. We also say hello to Crystal Hart. Hello also to several other folks. But because time is of limitation, say hello. Amy Hayes, Rihanna Johnson. Shannon Walsh, howdy hi, howdy do, to you and yours. And to everybody on my Facebook page, hi. Everybody on Instagram, hi. And everybody on Twitter, hello. Good to see you all. To see you really good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, for Mind Over Matter, is it for the L2C Sports Final. We got about 3 minutes left in this very wild broadcast. And before we hang it up, we still got a golf thing to talk about. Yes, indeed. Golf returned, Sans fans, but with a lot of F-bombs. But the big winner at the Charles Schwab was You call that a drum roll? Of course. Hey, we do drum rolls differently. Okay, and Daniel Berger outlasted Colin Morikawa in a playoff to win the Charles Schwab Challenge. And kudos to CBS for passing their challenge and broadcasting the event. Golf without fans? Oh boy, but natural sound. Perfect. Daniel Berger won it in a playoff over Colin Morikawa. That was a tie for third between Jason Kokrak, Bryson DeChambeau, and Justin Rhodes, and Xander Schauffele. And that's it for that. We have done our duty, and our duty has been done. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, who knows what sport is coming up tomorrow? All we know is we'll bring you the best in sports coverage right here on the L2C Sports Final. Don't forget Sports Central USA with Robert Strauss coming up in mere moments, hours, or seconds. And don't forget Wednesday, the Premier League is back. You get to see it on NBCSN. Game to be announced. That's it for us. I've got 20 seconds to tell you that this program is a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network, L2C Sports, and of course the fine folks here at YouTube. I'm Steve Baxley. No matter what sports you love, may your favorite team always be winners. Good night, America, wherever and whomever you are. We'll see you tomorrow at 11. I'll make sure of that time.